The Grim Tale of Grace Macabre, Chapter 59. Grace was in terrible pain. Her shoulder ached from Ari's bite, and her blood burned as it coursed through her body. Detective Madison put her arm around her and led her to a stool. "I'm Detective Madison, but you can call me Haley," she said. "I need to call this in before the partiers show up, and we need to shut this place down tight. But before I do that, we have to get on the same page here." Grace's mind was sluggish and fogged. She struggled to have a clear thought, though one question did present itself. "You weren't surprised that the runaways are demons," she said. How is that?" Haley took a moment to consider her answer. "I used to work in Los Angeles. One night, while investigating a child abduction, I stumbled upon these same demons performing one of these rituals. They escaped, and I've been hunting them down ever since." Sarah untied Cindy Evans, who had passed out after getting stabbed. She checked the wound in the little girl's arm and affirmed it was thankfully not life-threatening. After making sure the girl would be okay until help arrived, she walked up beside Haley. "So, you know that monsters are real?" Haley was tending to Grace's wound. "Yes. And while I can appreciate you girls embracing that reality and your willingness to fight, you could have gotten killed." Grace and Sarah looked at each other and couldn't help but smile. Sarah's was sheepish, while Grace's was more of a grimace because of her pain. "Well, Sarah's already dead," Grace said. Her speech seemed slow and her tongue felt thick. Haley didn't think this was funny. She gave them both a stern look. "I know that." "You do?" Sarah said. "Yes," Haley replied. "Once I realized that you girls were caught up in something strange, I did a background check on you." She turned to Sarah. "When I ran your info through the police database, I found that you had been killed." "And that didn't shock you?" Grace asked. Haley tore a strip from her shirt and used it to put pressure on the wound on her neck. She was beginning to feel better and intuitively knew that her body was rejecting the poison and was healing itself. "That's a nice power to have," she thought. "I wonder what others I have." "I admit I was a little surprised," Haley said. "But over the past couple years chasing this group, I've seen enough unexplainable things to make my mind flexible and open to the dark reality that surrounds us." "Sarah says I have some kind of power and destiny," Grace said. "I do feel something happening. The powers seem to be manifesting, and I think that my body is fighting off the venom from Ari's bite." Haley considered what Grace said. "Maybe so, but look around you. 2 very good men died tonight. They sacrificed themselves to save you and Cindy. This is not a game. If you do have some self-healing ability, that's great, but no one else does." Haley looked at Sarah. "And there's no guarantee either of you will be resurrected the next time you get killed." Both girls nodded that they understood. "I know all this is new and strange, and there are no guarantees," Sarah said. "Good. What you're doing carries a heavy responsibility," Haley replied. and you need to always have a plan before engaging the enemy. You should always want to minimize the loss of life. You never wing it, girls. Winging it gets people killed. Grace and Sarah looked over at the mangled bodies of Jeff and Jacob. The weight of the moment pressed down upon them. "You're right," Sarah said. "We maybe could have handled it differently, but we felt we had to act quickly and knew nobody would believe us. We know we got lucky tonight. But ever since I woke up beside my grave, I've gotten these bursts of intuition and we were relying on that to guide us." "What do you mean?" Haley asked. Sarah told Haley everything. As she told her story, Grace was feeling better by the moment. Her blood no longer felt like acid running through her body, and the pain in her shoulder was only a dull ache. Grace intuited that her healing abilities were limited. She must have some immunity to the demon venom, but knew it would take some time for the puncture wounds in her shoulder to heal. "That's some story," Haley said. "Yeah, it is," Sarah replied. Haley shook her head. "Now that we are aware of the supernatural realm and the monsters that lurk all around us, we need to work together, make sure we are all on the same page and backing each other up. I don't have the paranormal powers you girls have, but I can help in a lot of ways considering I'm a detective." "Well, that actually makes me feel relieved," Grace said, "knowing we aren't alone." Haley gave the girls a concerned look. "Now that I know who you girls are and what you're up to, you will never be alone."